So chapter 148 is here, and if you haven't seen the spoilers, then you'll probably be surprised by how chill this chapter is compared to what happened in the last one. If you remember, the last chapter wrapped up the Ruby and Hikaru interaction, with Ruby filming Ai's death at the end. And this chapter starts with Ruby, Kana, Memcho, and many others at the beach. Yes, the mandatory beach episode for every manga and anime is here. Although it starts out cheerful, the chapter doesn't end all that well for a certain someone. But let me continue the rest of the chapter first. We see Frill commenting that the beach really does feel like a private one, and Minami agrees as well, as Ruby immediately runs off. Now that her filming is over, she's of course excited to finally get a break from this insane schedule she's had. And we did get to see a glimpse of that schedule in chapter 120, with her doing stuff literally all day. Taiki is also there, still traumatized by the car he crashed near the ocean in chapter 138. Gotana is there too, complaining about having to basically act as the dad of the group, even though he's still single. Kana says it's his fault though, for driving a big van like that, which Ruby backs up. However, Gotana retorts by explaining that a giant vehicle is good for many things, like transporting equipment or driving staff around to where they need to be. Making a movie takes a lot of work after all, but he just never expected the van to be used to take all the kids to the beach. Thankfully, Akane is still kind enough to still thank Otanda, as well as Memcho, who just felt bad about making the director do more work. He then orders everyone to carry the coolers and inflate the inner tubes, basically shouting orders to get things done at Taiki, who believes Gotanda is slipping into the father role quite naturally. Technically, you could argue he was like a second father to Aqua, since, you know, Ichigo and his real father weren't there after Ai died. But actually, according to Aqua, Gotanda bought the car back when he was looking for someone to marry, dreaming to go camping on the weekends with his wife and kids. Unfortunately, it seems like things didn't work out. Minami also questions if it's alright that she came along. Frill says it's fine, and I presume Frill or Ruby are the ones who invited her because of their friend group. Like Frill says though, it's pretty cool how everyone was able to show up here, even though they're all busy. It was just a reserved filming day, but they could spend the day at the beach since filming was already finished. Everyone would be going back to their normal schedule starting tomorrow though. Well, maybe not Frill, because she's actually going to be taking a 2-month break, where she plans to just take it easy. Of course, Ruby is shocked as Frill explains that the only ones who can't take a break are those who probably don't have a say in their schedule. Taiki, Kana, and Ruby all just stare at her, knowing she's probably referring to them, which is actually kind of funny. And even Minami states that this is where the talent gap shows. I'm surprised not even Taiki is on that level yet though, but it just shows how high a level Frill is at now. Then we cut to Memcho shouting for everyone to come swimming. Ruby and Minami also hand Taiki and Melt some drinks before running off. Although, Taiki can't help but be distracted by their assets, and even Melt says he shouldn't say that out loud. After all, Ruby is literally Taiki's sister. I don't know if he forgot about that, or just didn't care, which would be wild. First Ruby and Aqua, and now Taiki seems interested in Ruby. A blood sibling love triangle is actually crazy. On the other hand, Melt is more interested in Frill, since he's actually a fan. Of course, he'd want to see her swimsuit, but Frill didn't even come here to play, as she literally shows up with scuba diving gear. Melt doesn't know how to feel about that since his hype was just killed, and Taiki just says Frill is doing as she pleases, which she can. And then finally, we see Aqua, who's putting some air in an inflatable resting spot. Bro literally got his black star gun out on the beach. He ain't here for fun either. And of course, Kana suddenly lays down the inflatable he just made, and asks Aqua to put some suntan oil on her. The skin is very important for an entertainer like her after all, and Kana even says to go to the places she can't reach with his own hands. Kana thinks she's slick, but unfortunately for her, Akane sees right through that and sprays the suntan oil on Kana herself. Kana's still taking L's, and that's not even the worst one in this chapter. Obviously, Kana wasn't too happy about that at first, but she does begin to enjoy it somewhat, and Aqua even notices how they seem to be getting closer now. Perhaps there is a chance Akane and Kana could settle their rivalry eventually. I think it would be nice seeing them get along, and we see a bit of that here as Akane continues to rub sunscreen on Kana, and meanwhile, Ruby and Frill trap Memcho in some sand, while giving her some large assets on her chest as well. We then see everyone playing on the beach and in the water. Even Tsukiyomi is there watching along with the crow. I guess even gods like her can have fun too. But of course, as the sun sets, we can see Aqua still alone in the dark. Akane comes up to him though, and questions if he's feeling isolated again. However, Aqua asks if she still feels awkward being around him. After all, they did break up pretty recently, and Akane does admit to feeling awkward a bit. But she still has to keep an eye on Aqua, especially because he could kill Hikaru at any time. Akane says he can't do that though. He won't be happy, and neither will the people around him. She tells Aqua to look at his friends having a good time, and says that he'll make everyone there unhappy. Everyone he loves, and everyone he wants to protect. However, Akane also believes they can still punish Hikaru publicly through the movie. She's also certain Ruby should have had her revenge in the final play, which probably means the final scene or act of the film. I think that part is pretty interesting because we saw how fast Aka rushed the final act of the movie with the film in. Perhaps that was done because there was some stuff during the film that he wants to reveal later, like Ruby's form of revenge. I wonder what she could have done through the film to get satisfying revenge though, but Akane does seem certain Ruby has something planned. In any case, now should be Aqua's turn to be happy. She tells Aqua that before walking away. In her thoughts though, Akane wants to be the one to make Aqua happy. That's her wish, and from the very beginning, she has been willing to do anything to achieve that. And I think this conversation with Aqua expresses that sentiment. Akane believes killing Hikaru won't make Aqua happy, and that's why she'll do anything to stop his plan, like she said back in chapter 116. As Akane is walking along the beach though, she runs into Kana, who actually has something to say to her. She reveals to Akane that she has always liked Aqua, but now she understands, or at least she thinks Aqua is the happiest when he's with Akane. It frustrates her, but that's how she feels. Akane looks shocked hearing this reveal as well. I mean, we literally saw Aqua a few chapters ago express how he always has fun when he's around Kana, literally to her face. And even she understood that's an important part of a romantic relationship, and indirectly saying they're compatible. And now somehow, Kana believes Aqua has more fun with Akane. Something's not adding up. Maybe something happened earlier in the day, because Kana was in good spirits, and now she's like this. The chapter literally ends with Kana telling Akane to get back with Aqua, with a smile on her face. If anyone can melt Aqua's heart, it's Akane. And that's it. I'm sorry, but Aqua must hate Kana as much as Gege hates Gojo. I mean, they're smiling the same way too. Unless this is actually all setting up for the twist that Kana will ultimately return and end up with Aqua in the end, which I'm kinda predicting, then this is her biggest L so far. Aqua just keeps bodying Kana, and might even have Hikaru put her in a body bag next at this rate. I mean, even Ruby got further than her. Hopefully we at least see how Kana came to this conclusion, otherwise it's just Aqua trolling right now. I guess for now though, Akane fans can stand proud. She has won the battle of the strongest. Well, I guess there's still Ruby to compete with, but something tells me Hikaru's gonna have a say in this as well. Maybe even next chapter, cause going off the recent pattern, which has been shipping chapter and then plot chapter, the next should be a plot chapter unless Aka actually continues the scene. With the filming over though, it seems like this was the end of this arc, especially with everyone from the film, plus Minami coming together. Maybe even for the last time in the story. Next chapter will probably close the arc and give us a look at what's about to come. So if this chapter was the calm before the storm, that means the storm is coming in the form of Hikaru, most likely. Anyways, let me know how y'all feel about Kana giving up like this. Did she do the right thing for herself? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. I got some more Oshi no Ko videos here too, that you can check out as well. Peace.